Red Faction series is all about destruction. Walls that get blown out, buildings that fall, and mechs that tend to destroy everything. I had some fun with the last game, Red Faction Guerrilla, and had high hopes for Armageddon. While not the great game I had hoped it would be, Armageddon's awesome destruction mechanics and great cooperative multiplayer make it a fun game that's worth playing. You just need to look past several boring parts of levels and an utterly forgettable story. Red Faction Armageddon is the story of Darius Mason, the grandson of Alec Mason from Red Faction Guerrilla. Mars is in a time of turmoil. After a vicious fight, humans are forced underground when the surface is left inhospitable. Mason continues to scrape together a meager existence until a horrible alien threat is unleashed and he's forced to fight for the survival of the remaining Martians. The setup is pushed on you in the first bit of Armageddon, never taking the time to develop the characters into anyone you care about. Armageddon isn't the best looking game either. I know concessions had to be made to allow for the incredible environmental destruction, but the levels are mostly drab, colorless caves or the same looking industrial complexes. It's Mars, I get it, but the similar looking environments only heightened how repetitive some levels felt. I know it sounds like I'm down on Armageddon, but its destruction gameplay is its saving grace. While some levels drag out for longer than they should, blowing crap up is great. Blasting apart buildings with explosives, or using the magnet gun to sling parts of the environment around is a spectacle that brings out my inner destructive child. The repair mechanics also work well. Blowing a room to bits, only to then assemble it so you can get where you need to go, is a really cool effect. I just wish they had found a way to use it for gameplay more. At a few points it's used for objectives, but overall it's just a way for you to make sure you can make it through a destroyed building. Some stages don't have enough destructible parts though, and during these levels it's just another third-person shooter. Sure, you're fighting aliens that are swarming around the environment, but caves just aren't all that interesting without a bunch of buildings to blast to pieces as well. The super powerful weapons alleviate this to a degree, but Armageddon is at its best when there's rubble flying through the air and buildings crumbling all around you. For every boring, drawn-out cave sequence, you also get an empowering level where you get to pilot badass vehicles. The mechs are especially awesome. They're unstoppable killing machines, usually put in levels full of buildings to bring down. These levels are just long enough too, breaking up the more drawn-out areas where you're on foot. The campaign may be a little all over the place in terms of pacing and level design, but the other modes are pure, mindless fun. Ruin mode takes all the enemies out of the world and puts you in a timed arena, challenging you to wreak as much havoc as possible in a short amount of time. Infestation mode is Red Faction's take on survival, where a team of up to 4 players hold out as long as they can against waves of enemies, killing them all or trying to protect a structure from falling. Both modes are where Red Faction shines. There's no weak story to ponder, no long, drawn-out levels, just you, explosives, and an abundance of stuff just begging to be torn asunder. Red Faction Armageddon is a good game with a lot of failings. Its story and levels sometimes fall flat, but its great destruction mechanics and awesome cooperative multiplayer make it worth playing. For more on Red Faction Armageddon, go to IGN.com.